Good day, colleagues. Good day to you all. I recognize and I celebrate WSO, World Safety Organization, for organizing every year these programs where we come to share our knowledge, where we come to learn, where we come to unlearn, and where we continue to relearn. This is a very good one in partnership with RSM. My name is Engineer Jamil Badmos, and I will be speaking to the topic that says Occupational Safety and Health Data Analytics, Impact and Analysis for a Sustainable Economy. This is very critical at this period of ours, in this COVID-19 period, where data is very critical, big data in making a business to move and to achieve excellence. We are going to be looking at three critical areas today: the big data, OSH, data analytics and technology. Then I will provide some strategic solutions for Nigeria as a case study. What do we need to do in a country? First and foremost, I salute you all. First and foremost, I greet you all. First and foremost, I repeat again, I celebrate every one of us in this conference today, celebrate all the expatriates, all our colleagues from outside the country that are also logging into this conference. This is a very great one. I salute you in the greeting of COVID-19. Remember, when we were in the university, if you greet like this, it has a different meaning from what we see today. So I greet you all here, please chop your elbow, very good one. Greet you all. And then I want to say that today, data is very important to us. How do people use data? You see, if you go to the medical professions, you notice that whenever you go to the hospital, they conduct what we call vitals on us. They test us. When they test us, it's a result from the test that will make a professional, that's a doctor, to say, look, this is what is happening to you. This is what you are going to do. This is a treatment you are going to pass through, because the doctor is able to have a test, and that test is from the data that they get from the instrument or whatever they use to get the test. That is one of the importance of data for the medical profession. With data, we make money. And I said today that if you look at data very well, it gives you to understand foreign exchange. You know what is dollar rate, you know what is naira rate, you understand what can you put together to be able to make this money. That is what data also do to us. In Lagos State, for example, and across the whole world, you see bridges being built. Bridges are very strong and infrastructure with integrity. And such infrastructure like bridges like this, and the Lekki Bridge, you agree with me, it requires a lot of data for them to be able to build this bridge, because you are going to add 2 plus 3 together, and in structural engineering, a lot of calculations will go there. How many vehicles are going to pass on top of the bridge at a time? Is it going to be a dead load? Will it be a live load? The structural engineers put all these figures together and come up with a design. So data becomes very critical in the profession of every one of us. We need data to be able to form informed decisions. Do we know that when COVID-19 came into this world in 2020, in the beginning it was uncertainty. There was no data. All we know is it's killing people, especially those of us in our own place here. It's killing, but it's not killing us the way it was happening in other crimes. So the next thing is data start coming up through testing and others. And at the point of coming, it was uncertainty. We are not sure what is happening. We don't know the likelihood. We don't know the severity. We cannot even determine this until when now that we are able to get data, we'll be able to know the likelihood, we can be able to know what is the severity of what is happening to us. So people use data for various operations, and they're able to make results that are very tangible that you can get from that use of data. It is very important to us that when you have data in health and safety that features a lot of issues like work-related fatalities, non-fatal occupational accidents and diseases, such a data can be used for us to put in place a preventive strategy for managing occupational safety and health. As a matter of fact, when we have data, it can make us to understand what are the problems, what are the challenges, what are the risks, what are the opportunities that we can put in place in an organization. By the time we have data, it makes us to know who are the workers that are vulnerable, what are the type of preventive measures that we are going to put for them, what are the proactive interventions that will be done. when we have data, the labor inspectorates, now the labor inspectors, of course, the factory inspectors and other inspectorates, in the country, with other regulators, they can be able to come with a preventive mandate that, look, let's see what you are doing. What you are doing is this in line with your processes, in line with your policies, in line with your systems, and let's see how you can improve on what you are doing. It is when you have data, you can do this. In short, if you go back to health and safety metrics, when we have the lagging and leading indicator, these are data that can come forward to us. Though a lot of us deal more with the lagging indicators. Why the truth of the matter is that leading indicators pays us more because they can be able to show us areas where we can add value so that the lagging indicator, things that have happened, will not even happen at all. However, when you talk about importance of health and safety data with respect to our profession, it is very critical that we look at both leading and lagging and make sure that we don't joke with the leading indicator. This is from experience of most of the accidents that we have seen in this country and even in other climes. You will notice that when leading indicators are well put in place, they will be able to avert all the incidents that will have come from the lagging indicator. And that is why W. Edudemi, one of the fathers of qualities, as far as we are concerned, says without data, all anyone has are opinions, because you are just going to be guessing. As data elevates probability that you make the right decision. When you have the right data, you'll be able to make the right decision. Look at it in a case study in Nigeria. We have been witnessing tankers driver incidents for long, and this is killing people. This is causing a lot of mayhem. A lot of assets have been burnt, buildings are destroyed, and lives have gone. And we are still having the same incident, still continue to repeat itself. What is the problem? Where did you get it wrong? It's the issue of investigation. To be able to investigate, have data, and put corrective actions in place, and to be able to even have what you call a risk-based thinking with the data. What could go wrong with all these drivers? Why are they causing this accident? Why are accidents even happening? Can we put in place a structure and a system of controls that will prevent this from happening? And that is why data elevates the probability that you make a right decision. And the truth of the matter is this: for everything that we call performance metric, you must know, number one point, which is a fact, that you cannot improve what you cannot measure. Whenever you cannot measure, it cannot be improved. That is why we attach figures, we attach percentage, we attach numbers to metrics. Very important. And that's why it is called metrics. And remember, what gets measured is what you get done. And what gets done is what you can be able to say you achieve, and you continue to celebrate, you continue to reward yourself because you have the numbers. You know what we want to do, you know what we want to achieve, then you work towards that achievement. Remember, what gets measured and rewarded is what people get done. And that is why in occupational health and safety, we don't just always look to get things done. We put in place some form of consequence management, which could be a reward system that could be punitive or also give people a lot of rewards to make them happy. Because when you are rewarded, you get it done. Where did you get it wrong? When we have these performance metrics and we are still having a lot of accidents happening in our society. Let us go back to the labor force survey in UK, which is also corroborated by the Health and Safety Executive in UK. That is the regulator of health and safety in UK. In UK, they say 1.6 million working people are suffering from work-related illnesses today as of 2020, from what the data says. Then 111 fatal injuries occurred at this period. You can see the data of what the UK is presenting. And they now said 693,000 workers sustained non-fatal injuries in 2019 to 2020. Labor force survey is like the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics in our own country. And they now look at it, they went further to say 325 cases were prosecuted and resulted in a conviction. Fines from that conviction totaled £35.8 million. Please take calculator, just calculate £35.8 million in naira. That's 550 today. You'll be able to conclude and say this is huge amount of money that even government realized from where? From conviction, from fines of those who are convicted, who are not following health and safety rule. How many have you convicted in Nigeria? Now look at it very well. Then now go back to what the labor force survey also stipulates. It says the estimated economic cost to Great Britain for people that are not working up to having 38.8 million working days lost in UK is 16.2 billion pounds. 16.2 billion pounds is enough to make some countries in the world. And we are saying this is data. This is the use of data. So look, they see this data, analyze this data, and say for next year, we'll put this in place so that this money will be reduced. And other companies that are fines, others will say, look, they fine company A. So what do I need to do? I need to put in place systems of inspection, systems of audit, systems of engagement with my team and my staff in my company, so that at the end of the day, I will not be part of this and pay fine from 2021. This is the usage of data that we see in the world. This is Labour's first survey in UK, supported by the Health and Safety Executive that happens to be the regulatory agent as far as UK is concerned. The same thing goes to US. You will see data, you see how they look at the data, navigate through data to be able to see the performance of the company, of the country, of the company, of the country, of the system entirely. And the same thing goes to Australia, the same thing goes to New Zealand and other countries in the world. Even our own bigger body, the International Labour Organization, has it that 7,500 people die as a result of unsafe and unhealthy working conditions every day. Out of these people that die every day, you have 6,500 coming from the work-related diseases, while 1,000 comes from occupational injury. And that is why health and safety professionals need to start looking beyond injury that we talk about. We need to start looking on occupational health. These are this mental health. This can also cause more safety injury to us. And that is why COVID-19, when it came with its own risk. At the same time, it has its own opportunities for us to start understanding that mental health is real. And that is why ISO released a lot of guidance standards to manage mental health, psychosocial risk, and to also manage COVID-19. ISO 45005 is there, ISO 45003 is there to support ISO 45001 in this particular dispensation, this period we have. The 7,500 deaths from unsafe and unhealthy condition constitute about 5 to 7% death globally. With these statistics, you can navigate through it and start thinking of what can we do to support ourselves so that we reduce all this amount of money which goes to the bottom line of a country, goes to the bottom line of a company, goes to the bottom line of an association or organization. Because in sustainability, it is very important that 3 P's, very key, hold that sustainability steps, and we say the people, the profit, and of course the planet. The people, they are the staff. The people are the people in the country. The people are the community people. The people are your customer. These people, when they are affected, it will affect our business, because the businesses that we have, our country needs to have some money coming in, foreign exchange. But when we have money coming in, an accident is getting to the bottom line of an organization and taking this away. And data is very critical to analyze what we can do. It makes us to know where we are doing well or not doing well. That is why we look at the statistic again. They say losses as well as healthcare expenditure represent 3.94% of the world GDP. This is very high. This is a very high figure based on what ILO has given us. Very important. WHO, World Health Organization, now also support by saying 2 million people, 2 million workers, they die every year, out of which 386,000 is exposure to airborne particulates, and 1,2,000 is from carcinogens, substances that can cause cancer. You can see the statistics and how the world is navigating through statistics. How come we are different set of people in some parts of the world that we don't see these statistics and look at how we can juggle through them, rejig through them, bring ideas from them, and be able to achieve. And that is why I have said it earlier on. Sustainability is very key. The people is very important. Environment is very important. Data and environment are there. It can affect our businesses. It can affect our profit. If you don't take these 3 P's into cognizance, one will not have a sustainable business. And that is why I was in an organization, a company in the world. They said, look, in our own company, the P's are 4. And I asked, what is the 4th P? They said the 4th P is politics. I say, okay, that is leadership, and that is very correct in line with ISO 45001 2018 plus 5.1 leadership and commitment. Yes, I agree. The leadership are there. They are also the people. You must understand how you manage yourself, both internal customer and external customer as a business. As a country, you must understand how to put in place governance that the people in the country, they will understand the SDG number 1 to number 7, and you start tracking yourself. What is the country performance on SDG number 3, good health, which speaks to health and safety? What's our performance on SDG number 5, which speaks to gender equality? These are very important up to the level of SDG number 8, which speaks to decent work and economic growth. All these SDG numbers, they are to make us to achieve some of the things that will make the populace, that will make the society, that will make the people to be happy with the government, that will make the people to be happy with also their company. They can be translated to the company. A company can use all these SDGs, and some companies are actually doing that. If Lagos State government has its own agenda, because it seems agenda of Mr. Governor. This agenda also, if you look at all the content, is speaking to the SDG number 7, and that is what we are saying. That is what we see the seriousness in us to be able to navigate through data, to be able to have what we call business improvement. If we go to SDGs on number 3.6, by 2020, we want to have global deaths of injuries on the road. If we have that one, do we know how many deaths we see on the road? Can you quantify how much it takes us to manage those deaths, those preventable deaths? So it's very important for us to manage this so that bottom line of an organization, bottom line of the country, and of course, bottom line of the people are not affected. And you see very well now, we want good roads for ourselves, and that is the essence of having a target that you can meet based on your SMART principle, or your SMARTer principle, or your SMART T principle, or your SMART C principle. That this is our target. Can we meet it? It's to make us to be sustainable, and that is why without big data, companies are driving blind. I always say it everywhere I go. I say, if a man has no eyes, you say the man is blind. But if a man has no vision, that man is dead. Because a man without vision is dead. The same thing goes to a company. A company that does not think about big data, such company is just going to be working. They will not know how to navigate through even this type of pandemic or any form of society today. It is very important we talk about our big data, because properly sorted data can help management to determine the direction of their company, where they need to move in, what can make it to be successful. Do you remember that whenever you have a coin has two sides. One side is risk, second side is opportunities. And it's very important that risk and opportunities are two sides of the same coin. So therefore, as a business, therefore, as an organization that believes in health and safety, you don't see things in one direction alone and say risk, and you must understand there's opportunity in it. That is why our standard, be it ISO 9001 2015, be it ISO 14001 2015, be it ISO 45001 2018, be it ISO 2301 2019 for business continuous management system. They put it there that is very clear, risk and opportunity, because for every, you always get it. And data is very key to make this to be possible. This big data has HVs, and you must be able to understand what it means. I will summarize this one because of the time. You talk of the volume. Volume does not mean you say data is big data. It's voluminous. No, it means that it has something that is useful that we can work on. Data must have value. It can give you result. It must have veracity. You must be able to visualize from data. Data must be able to link different areas. Variety, velocity, the speed with which you get your data. Have you forgotten that as you are like this on social media, you can get a lot of things from it. Some are good, some are not good, but if you understand how to sift data, that is say data mining. You mine your data, you sift your data, that is data virality. You come up with something that is very important through this big data. The question people now ask me is that, does big data mean data that is voluminous? I say no. Data that you can have things that are useful, that you analyze, you put in place a structure from them, and it gives you informed decision. And that is why the School of Thought now say, if you are talking about health safety and environment, health and safety, health analytics, we put it on 4 analytics model: the descriptive analytics, which speak with what happened. What happened? That talks about the past. Accidents have been happening in Nigeria, in the factory, on the road. What happened? What are the causative elements of this accident? Look at it. What happened? That is the historical perspective of accident. That's analytics. They will now go to diagnostic analysis. Why did it happen? So by the time you are doing what happened, it will give you some data. Why did it happen? It gives some data. And now start moving down to predictive analytics. What is likely to happen? That's the risk aspect of it. It has happened before. I've learned from the data. Then why did it happen? I've gotten my data. Then the next data is I predict. When will it happen again? And how can I stop it from happening? That is what we call predictive analytics. And that is what we are saying. In health and safety, you can look at data, juggle with the data, analyze the data, and need you to predict the future. And of course, you can have what we call prescriptive analytics, what should be done, so that that accident will not happen. This is the essence of having data in health. It's very key. Remember, the future of LSH analytics vision is very clear. We want to deliver reports. We want to deliver tools that provide relevant, actionable information to the right people at the right time and the right way to be able to get the right result. And that is the essence of our internal data. With our external data, we take action. Risk-based thinking is very critical. And whoever wants to be involved in any risk-based thinking must understand data analytics. Data analytics is very critical because it makes us to know where we are, where we want to be, and how we can get there. Ask a simple question to all my leaders present here. Where is our health and safety data for Nigeria? I've seen friends who came to us, I have US, I have Australia, even Ghana, we have little information about their health and safety data. In Nigeria, where is our data for health and safety? You look at the Otedola Bridge incident, it has been happening 4 times, 5 times. We are getting it wrong. If you use data, you know what could have led to this and could have solved it. Look at this, my fellow gentleman here. Accidents happen in factories. How many of us can say this is the figure of accidents in the factories? How many of us can say this is the figure of accidents in some sectors of the economy? Some sectors they have. Are they harmonized in Nigeria? The answer is no. Power sectors have their statistics. All others have their statistics. Do we harmonize them? The answer is no. That to me, if we say ILO statistics and data they gave us does not contain a lot of Nigerian statistics, then we are very, very correct. Where are we going to get data? How are we going to get data? Most of the time, you stick in pages of newspaper and what you see there, speed violation, causes accident, NDS, in terms of statistics. You see my very good leader, Corps Marshal Boyoyemi Baba, I salute you. You come up with data, with statistics, with numbers, and that is what we are talking about. But the most important thing is when we have these numbers, what do you put in place? You see those Federal Safety Corps, they put in place speed limiter to manage speed. They are very good. That is the things we want the country to be doing, we want other agencies to emulate and be doing. The board of the National Bureau of Statistics, this to the federal government, my own message. If you have such Bureau of Statistics and it has political appointees, it has members, but there is none of the members that come from Ministry of Labour and Employment. We get it wrong in the country. If Ministry of Labour and Employment is in charge of operational safety and health in the country, and they're not even part of Bureau of Statistics to sit on the board, then we have gotten it wrong. Please take note of this. Leaders present here is a message for us to start advocating for this. And the most important thing is look at FRSC. They come up and say 3,947 of RTC recorded in the field. This is value. This can make you to form a thinking that what can we do? How can we do it? When do we do it? And that will make data to give us informed decision. This is where we're supposed to be as a country. Look at it. Agriculture, forestry, fishing, fatality rate is the highest in 2017. That 27% of worker fatalities. No, they say they are giving us value. Look at graphs that will make us understand. This is Australia. In Australia, in 2018, from their own regulatory body that gets health and safety. Where are we? Let us start taking ahead. Nigerians and my colleagues present here today, if you continue to do what you have always been doing, or get what I've always been getting, and you're doing today, you will continue to be getting the same result. So to move health and safety penalty to the next level, then we need to do something different. And that is my submission today. Number one, we need to know presently in this world, the global economy is very clear. Technological innovations, digital transformation, and globalization, they've stepped up the speed at which we live and we work. And COVID-19 has made it to be closer. Before we are thinking the future of work is next 20 years, it's now. So we need to start thinking different ways with the way to navigate through this future of work. Please take note. Number one, we need to improve on our effective communication and engagement. To be able to get health and safety data in Nigeria, we need to have capacity building on it. We need to have trainers to come. We need to train people. Regulatory agencies, national bodies need to come together. ESPON and all regulatory agencies need to come together, organize summit, organize seminar on OSH data. Let's have a framework for Nigeria that we all follow, that companies will follow. Let's put in place an enforcement framework also for those who don't report. Let's use social media tools to raise awareness. Let's call HSC Managers Conference, HSC Managers Summit in Nigeria. Let's sit together and have a good framework that we can use to collect data and analyze data. The Ministry of Labour and Employment, Director of OSH, this is our duty. We can relate with DPR, with NEC, with NEMSA, with all the agencies. This is a very simple thing to do because we are all government agencies. There are stakeholders. Everybody comes in and we do it together. But now we don't have data in the country. We don't know how these accidents are eating to the bottom line of organizations. We don't know how these incidents are affecting Nigeria as a country. Even the Nigerian government don't know. The Nigerian government signed health and safety policy. They don't have OSH Act. How do you drive a policy without an act? You want to drive with factory act that everybody knows it is not in to modality. Why are we behaving like this in this crime? And we want health and safety to be at the topmost level. We want people to be committed, and we want people to go to work and come back home safely. We don't want people to continue to die on our roads, die on the factory. We are passionate about people. What we lack, as I say here, is passion for saving lives, and that very, very sad. And that is why Teach and Hans say awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed. Why can't we create awareness? All professional bodies, associations, can we all come together, create awareness, and let us have a framework? I said it, the framework or the model we want to apply to get our data, analyze our data. Number two, OSH data reporting must be considered a national requirement. The federal government should take seriousness about this, because when data are there to know how many people die in the organization, how many people die in the country, how many houses were damaged, how many places fire destroyed, and we know we can quantify the cause. Why? What is the cause of it? What is the cost of the incident itself? It can make us to have a data and we put in place a structure that will prescriptive analysis and say this is what we're doing going forward in our country. Therefore, there must be a coordinating center. And my own humble opinion, since occupational safety and health resides generally in the country, general now, from the Minister of Labour and Employment. Therefore, they should drive it while employers and workers, trade unions, Nigerian Labour Congress, and all their affiliates, medical practitioners, NSITF, National Social Insurance Trust Fund. The group you are really trying, NSITF agency is really trying, they have some data, but that data is those who come to pay their 1% today. What of those who are not paying? What is the enforcement of making people to pay? All of our professional bodies and others, we need to join together with Ministry of Labour and Employment. Come and let us have a framework, let us have a summit that this is what we discuss. Collection of data, how do we do it? Let's have HSC summit, manager summit, and we'll be able to take our leadership along, and we can have and make this a national requirement in the country. We need to drive our system with technology. The world is world of technology. Things are changing. Creativity and innovation are very key. Someone asked me, creativity and innovation, they are the same. I say, no, they are not the same. Creativity means you have idea. Innovation means that your idea, you put it into place and you realize value. You implement that idea and you realize value. That is innovation. Therefore, this is the world of innovation. As of 2002, it's very clear on how to manage innovation management system in your company. And that is why very critical. All of us, HSC professionals, all of us, regulator, we need to be resourceful. We need to start thinking now that the way we do it before, write memo in paper and be signing, that era is gone. This is era where you can have everything in software, where you can have your system and get across to anybody in the world. This is why technology is very key to drive the system. I must tell us today that technology is the driving force between new type of leadership in these peculiar times. Business cannot be business as usual. Business has to come to business as it is and bring idea to make it work. And the road to recovery in this period of future of work is with data. It's paved with data, because data is the thing that provides the fuel to power better and faster decisions. So organizations that want to drive business excellence, organizations that want to drive business performance, organizations that want to achieve safety excellence and excellent safety culture, they must be ready to navigate through their data, look at their data, use it, whether it is prescriptive analysis or you use it diagnostically, and get your facts out and be able to use that data to be able to make us to have a sustainable business, that is a business that the 3 P's are taken care of without affecting any one of them. You know that today we can use drones to go to the oil rig, and drones will give us data, artificial intelligence. Today I can use drone to go on the wire, on the cables of electrical company, power company, and tell me where the faults are and quickly give me the data that I will use to analyze when you can have shutdown. These are what we are talking about. Do you know that you can have what you call hearables? I'm not in Nigeria, I'm in Nigeria, but I want to go and work in another country, maybe in China, and I speak Chinese. I put hearables and then to translate the Chinese to language. The technology is there. Do you know that today with your element they can contact you? That is smart safety management system. That is what we are preaching now. You see data coming through from your element. From your element, you can know your temperature is high. When you are fatigued, you can see when you are having some economics problem. This is what we are talking about. Technology will come with the data. That data will be used to perform informed decisions for us. Please, number 4, we need to have purposeful and faith leadership. Please, I want to say, all my leaders present here, statistics are not simply numbers. At the source of every statistic is a person. Somebody has lost somebody's life. You may not know the value because it's not to you. But if you know that it is to you, you know what it is. And we start thinking like it's happening to you. You hear somebody die now as a result of accident, not to go and close the factory. And after a while, you come back, you open the factory. You think the business go as usual. No, if you shut down the factory, yeah, they've seen the impact, then you need to be sure that they are doing the right thing. Leaders must be accountable. Don't let MDs to do the way they like, and that is all. Don't let management think what they like, and that is all. Don't let people do what they like, and that is all. And of course, to the federal government, you are the big leader and the biggest leader. You have signed health and safety policy. Can we have our health and safety act? Can we start pushing for this? Can we start enforcement? Can we create National Council of Occupational Safety and Health in this country for each state to be replicated? In Lagos State, there's Lagos State Safety Commission. The only state with a commission. Are we saying other state people are ready to die? Are we saying other states are not passionate about lives? Can we start as federal government? We have health and safety policy signed by the minister. Can we go beyond that and start having what we call health and safety in all the states? And from there, we can move Nigeria forward. From there, we can start having impactful implementation of sustainable development goals. It will not just be rhetoric, it will not be paperwork, it will be what is being done practically. And we, all leaders present here, from Ministry of Labour and Employment, leaders present from Eastbourne, leaders present from WSO, leaders present from the Safety Advocates Group, leaders present from IOS Nigeria and IOS West Africa. All of us present here, all the group, HSCIA, every group, if I don't mention you, can we all start and move together? Have a big summit that we have done summit before, thanks to my very good friend, Mr. Cletus, the first one that did the first summit on health and safety. Good job when he was NICN president. That's a very good one, NICN. We appreciate all of you. Can we come together and have a summit dedicated for data collection, data mining, data analysis, and all the businesses in this country will be able to achieve and be happy. But confess, may not be an easy journey. It's easy to say. It's not that easy. You can say it, talk cheap as people say it, but implementation becomes tough. Remember, strategy. When you have strategy in place, the culture can destroy the strategy. That's why Dr. said, culture is strategy for breakfast. I said, not only breakfast, even for lunch and for dinner. So let's look at the culture of our people. When we are designing this framework and model, let's take everybody along. Let's not go with divided attention. Let's go with unity of purpose, that we are doing this to have a value for the country. We are doing this to have a value for the system. We are doing this to have a value attached to life. It will not be an easy journey. However, leadership is very important. Let our leaders take ownership of it. Let us have partnership. Then we can start to collect and utilize and data, because workplace safety analytics save lives, and not only saving lives, it saves bottom line, because all our workers are happy in a safe workplace. There's low absenteeism. You don't need to spend so much money on insurance and health. Your workers are better engaged. All of us are happy, and if people are happy, stress are reduced, mental health are reduced. Before you know it, we become happy people of this country. On top of all of you, we need to work together to make this happen. On this basis, I say thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity for making me to this presentation. I appreciate you all. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.